Well, Alligator Energy has now received a retention lease approval for its field recovery trial. So this is a trial of the in situ recovery method of mining the uranium, which uses the highly saline groundwater to extract the uranium, dissolve it and bring it to surface. It's a non-invasive method. You don't physically dig up the ground and rock. And we're doing the trial so that we can look at the reagents, the time it takes to dissolve the uranium, bring it out, the extraction of the uranium, and the circulation of the fluids and how that works within the ground. We've got a lot of test work done already, bench scale test work, but this is a trial you need to start to design a full-size program, a full-size mine.
And so when will this trial begin? When will this next phase begin?
Well, we're preparing the operating plan based around the conditions of the retention lease given to us by the various state government departments. They then approve that plan, which we would anticipate through around April. And then in May, June, we construct the pilot plant on site. It's already prefabricated in containers, around 6 containers in our yard in Whyalla. We have a yard and office in Whyalla. And that will be transported to site, only a small site, about 140 metres by 40 metres wide, and with a minimal impact. And then we put tanks and some pumps and things around that. We pipe the fluids to the pilot plant, extract the uranium, save it as a clean solution into tanks, and that tests our process. So it's going to start May, June is construction, operations probably from July onwards for about 3 to 4 months. So it's not a very long duration.
And so for people, driving past in that period around the middle of the year, what might they notice? What will it look like?
Well, it's not very visible. It's within a pastoral station quite distant from the coast, so it's 4 kilometres in from the coast, and it is not visible for any of the local roads. But you'll see containers travelling out there on a truck. You'll see tanks and things being brought out. We've engaged and finalising arrangements with a local Whyalla contractor to construct the pilot plant and put it on the site. And that will engage about 20 people through that group for a period of 2 to 3 months. And then we'll need an ongoing number of 6 local people, along with the 4 we've already got engaged up Whyalla, to operate the plant. So there'll be visibility of people, there'll be visibility of some trucks, but only really 10 to 12 truck movements. So it's not a great amount.
And so with this confirmation of a retention lease and this next stage in the project, how have you been, communicating with the Whyalla community? You mentioned the contractors and some of the workers that will be, employed there. But how have you been, engaging with the Whyalla community at large?
Well, we've been engaging since 2020, since we acquired the project, both with the Whyalla Council and key business groups in Whyalla. We've had a series of open days at Mount Laura Homestead, and we've got 2 more coming, 2 days on the 5th and 6th, that's next week, up at Whyalla, for people to drop in, talk to our team, look at our project. We'll have good displays on what it is and what it isn't. Also about the environmental management and potential impacts. We want to hear people's concerns. We want to hear their thoughts because it helps our feedback. So we've done a series of them over time. We're going to continue them. We've also recently had a tent at the community picnic in Whyalla, and we engaged in over 40 conversations. That was only on this last weekend. We're having a briefing with the emergency services coming up, SAPOL and SA Health and others in Whyalla region. And then we also meet on a regular basis with all our businesses. We've worked with 30 businesses in Whyalla already. We've spent over $2.5 million in the town, and this will increase that going forward. So we're starting to get more actively engaged. We've got more employees. They all wear Alligator Energy shirts, and they actually get asked a lot of questions around town. So feel free for any of your listeners to have a talk to Alligator people around town.
And in essence, though, in that communication, you mentioned feedback is important to you. Mm-hmm. But what do you hope the takeaway is from the community about, what this project is and what you want the community to understand about what you're doing?
Well, look, the mining of uranium via this in-situ recovery method is well proven in South Australia. It's been operating for more than 25 years at the Heathgate or Beverley uranium mine in the northeast of the state. The Boss Energy project at Honeymoon has recently recommenced production, and that's been operating for many years. And so the method of mining is quite well known. It's operated in the US and Europe for many, many years. So we're going to show people how the method works, what we're going to learn from the test, how we manage the environment. In particular, we have very little impact on the surface. We manage the salt bush and blue bush and things very well. In fact, we regenerate it wherever we finished our work. And we also monitor the highly saline groundwater, which is a totally separate groundwater system. We monitor that while we're doing the process. and it's a temporary use of that water. We add chemicals to dissolve the uranium, and those chemicals quickly disperse and are absorbed by the reaction within saline groundwater.
And finally, Greg, all going well with the trial in the middle of the year. What's next?
Well, we need to commence a feasibility study in the second half of this year. That will involve a full detailed mine design. Using that, we initiate a full mining approval process, which will take at least 2 years to go through. So this is not the only time that the public will be talking to us. We have many years going forward of that engagement. So a 2-year approval process. We would estimate if we get the project approved and we finance, then we could be commencing construction in late 28 and production in 2029, that sort of time frame. But there's a lot of steps to go through to get to that point.